every time you go shopping, every time you pay a bill, every time you are going to be feeling the impact, and you're not going to know why. And this is why. This sort of thing is why. And it's better to be prepared than to put your card or swipe your card and your card say declined.
It's true.
Which is very embarrassing and not very nice.
No. Guys, as we're tuning in now, this is the Pursuit of Success section of the show, and we have here the one and only Maurice Innis. Good morning, Maurice. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Yeah. Maurice, we've been doing the Pursuit of Success, and it's been all about increasing our financial IQ. All right.
Indeed.
And literally, it's been through a journey. My habits have changed a lot. Fantastic. I saw an article about Morrison's, someone trying to buy Morrison's, and the guy was like, no, and then the value of Morrison's stock went up because of that guy's decision. And I've been seeing all kinds of things playing out around me that I wouldn't have paid attention to otherwise.
Fantastic.
Since we've been having the discussions on this show. I've been paying a key interest in the graphs and figures, working my way, understanding them, learning how to use these tools to get investing, about investing in stocks. So it's been a really enjoyable journey for me. Guys, if you are enjoying the journey as well, please share, let us know in the live chat. But it's been really good.
Wonderful. And this is what I want, Robert. I want you guys to come to me on a weekly basis, or even message me on my Instagram platform. Feel free to reach out to me, guys. And say, I'm looking at this, I'm looking into this stock, I'm looking into this thing, and or I found this bit of a nugget of information over here. There's stuff that, you've just mentioned Morrison's. I didn't even know about that.
Apparently the price went up. It's soared.
There you go. See, I didn't, you're now teaching me. This is great. This is what I want for you guys. I want you guys to run with your own thing, armed with information, armed with the skills, and go out there and make really, really good decisions. This is the whole point of the platform, the whole point of this morning show. Fantastic. Love it.
That's it. Great. And so today you have some more pearls of wisdom to increase our financial IQ. So what things are we going to be looking at today?
Okay, so today we're looking at the examples of inflation hitting us now. I know I keep banging on about inflation. I know I'm boring you guys to death. I'm sorry, but that's one of the things. Do you want to say?
No, this is important because when you first came onto the show, you brought this to our attention. Now you're actually coming back and saying this is it in practice.
I'm finding articles. I'm finding newspaper articles and news clippings of how it's hitting us right now.
This is important, guys. This is showing us that whatever we're sharing with you, that's been shared on the show, it's going to affect you whether you are aware of it or not. And you're about to go into it showing us it's happening. Unless we're tuned in, switched on, it's going to happen, and you're going to feel the squeeze. You're not going to know why. You're not going to be prepared. So please, show us what's going on, please.
So we were speaking the other day, and I was talking to you about things, there's certain items that are beginning to get very expensive at the moment, and it sounds like a bit of a weird one, but the price of bacon has hit a 13-year high. The price of bacon is going up, right? So anything, as I said to you the other day, if I read a report and it says, this is the first time this has happened in 10 years, my ears
start tingling.
Your
bat signal starts tingling.
My spider senses start. You know what I'm saying? So anytime this is the first time this has happened in 15 years or 20 years, I think, okay, this is an unusual event, right? So it is a decade-long or decade-long and a half event sort of thing. So price of bacon is gone to a 13-year high.
Oh wow.
So literally you cannot afford to bring home the bacon. quite literally. I mean, you can't make this stuff. Can you bring up the article, my good friend Hugo? Do you have it?
Yep.
So we're putting the article up. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. This is, you know, this stuff is out there. I've just put the link.
So it says here, bacon keeps getting more expensive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, bacon is getting more expensive. I think I put the link there. I don't know. Did I give you the link?
No, you just had the text at the bottom.
All right. Okay. I'll send along the link. Basically, what they're saying is, due to inflation, there are certain things in your basket that are getting really expensive. The number one thing that has literally shot through the roof right now is bacon. And what I'm saying to people is, between now and Christmas, as I said in previous shows, keep your eye in the newspapers, right? Just keep your eye on the news and stuff like that, and just watch for things going up, because every time you go shopping, every time you pay a bill, every time you are going to be feeling the impact, and you're not going to know why. And this is why. This sort of thing is why. And it's better to be prepared than to put your card or swipe your card and your card say declined.
It's true.
Which is very embarrassing and not very nice.
No one likes that.
No one likes it.
And here's what it gets interesting, because imagine if the person, like just going by the news you shared with us, 2 months ago had a budget, right? And their budget left them with, I don't know, let's say, let's just for the example's sake, £30.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
2 months into the year, right? They go and do the same shopping, and they're expecting to be left with £30. They will not have £30 because of what you're saying to us right now. You're trying to use 2 months ago's budget, but inflation has kicked in. So guess what? What you've got left is going to be a lot less. Instead of being left with 30, just for example's sake, you'll be left with 15. Yeah, because you're not prepared for it. You don't understand that these things are actually happening. You're applying 2 months ago's rules, not being aware of what's happening in the actual market.
We're talking about, you know, at Easter, bacon was this price. At, you know, January, Christmas time, bacon was this. Literally in the space of a few months. You now have to rearrange your budget to afford certain things in your basket when you go to Tesco's and Sainsbury's and Waitrose and wherever. Right? It's not taking a year or it's literally you're feeling the effects within months of, you know, these things happening, and do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just be aware, and you would rather want to be prepared and know what's coming down the road than
It's true. And as well as knowing what's down the road, you know, last week we spoke about having the 4 legs on the table.
We did.
If we have only one source of income, and that income doesn't change, right? Let's say £1,000 per se, right? And inflation goes up, you're going to be left with a lot less than £1,000. Right?
Correct.
That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You've gone in from something that was like, yeah, I'm managing, we're good, to this has become very uncomfortable financially. Yeah. If this conversation sounds a bit too hard for you, don't feel that way, because we're just trying to make sure we open everybody's thoughts as to what's happening in the environment so you can be prepared. Yeah. So what we're gonna do.
So sure. So I mean, I don't know whether I mentioned this before, but what I'm advocating is financial self-defense, because you, in effect, your bank account is under attack. Your finances is under attack, and anyone will tell you when they know martial arts, there's a confidence that you have. There's a quiet confidence. You know, if something unravels and you know you're in a tight spot, you're in a corner, you have the confidence. You can get yourself out of this, right? You're not there to show off or anything. You just know that you can protect yourself and your family. Right? So it's the same thing. You know, you are learning financial self-defense, and when things start to rise, when they start to close down platforms that you used to invest in that you can no longer invest in now, and you know, raise your, you know, your financial safety and status, there are options. You are skilled with certain things that you can defend yourself with.
Now here's the challenge, right? Because obviously many times we're in an information age where information is readily available to us, right? However, sometimes, a person can be like, yeah, this will never happen, or, they have a subjective truth.
Indeed.
Right?
Yeah.
So how subjective truths, how does that work and how does that affect us?
Okay, so we spoke about this before, and again, I'm now going to give you guys examples because I gave you guys a quick sort of concept of how the whole thing and the people's perception of what's valuable and what isn't.
Okay, so that's subjective truth.
That is subjective. Like, okay, diamonds. We spoke about diamonds. However, I don't personally know of anyone, and I've never worked in an institution in the city of London that said our portfolio is massively invested in diamonds. Right? I'm not saying that diamonds are worthless. I'm just saying there are some asset classes that are better than others, right? So an example is Steve Ballmer of Microsoft, right? So we spoke about this. Steve Ballmer of Microsoft back in around 2001, 2002, he was in an interview, and Steve Jobs at the time of Apple had just launched the iPhone 1. And they sort of like asked Steve Ballmer, who was the then CEO of Microsoft, what do you think of this new iPhone, this new platform that Steve Jobs of Apple has launched? And Steve Ballmer said, this new iPhone, he said, who's going to use a phone without a keyboard? Who's going to use a phone where you've got to constantly touch the screen and, it plays music? How are you going to listen to music whilst holding the phone and make phone calls? This is completely ridiculous. No one will ever use a phone without a keyboard, and no one would ever pay £800, £900 for a phone.
So this is 2001.
This is around 2001,
We've
2002.
got Blackberries at this time, right?
We got Blackberries, we got Nokias, we got the Motorollas. You remember the Neo phone? You remember remember those? We kind of got those.
Yeah, that was a cool
They're
phone.
getting a bit old at that time, but we got those phones, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
Apple has now designed something new on the market.
Come out, right, and they've got this amazing phone. It's touchscreen, and I remember having something called an iPad, and you had a stylus, and you had to tap the screen with the stylus, but then you had to recalibrate it because the L will come out instead of the B, and the B will come out instead of the A. Right. So Apple came out, and I didn't have any of those problems. I put my headphones in. I could not believe the quality of. Now, I'm not advocating for Apple, guys. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm making a point that Steve Ballmer, the then CEO of Microsoft, did not do his homework. He did not do his competition analysis. Had he researched Steve Jobs, the kind of dude Steve Jobs was, had he researched this new invention called the iPhone that hooks up to something called the cloud technology, was very new. It was a very weird concept.
Unspoken about,
absolutely, right? And the cloud was iTunes, and you could download. This had never ever been done before, and it worked absolutely seamlessly.
Absolutely.
I remember using it. I remember other people using it.
I remember using it. I was like, and I wanted to try and test it to confuse it, and make it slow down.
And it didn't. Right. Exactly.
What does this mean? What does this mean?
What kind of trickery? What kind of magician?
I'm like, I like you.
What magic is this? Yes.
But he was like, no one's gonna buy into it.
This is electrickery. This is electricity. No. So he's like, no one will ever buy this. This is a complete folly. It will never happen. People need keyboards. They will never pay £800 for a phone. How can you listen to music and make a phone call and blah 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 blah. Anyway, 18 years later, we know. Needless to say, Steve Ballmer's no longer the CEO.
The text of a movie that comes up in white after it's finished. CEO is no longer now.
He is no longer the CEO of Microsoft. Okay. And I've actually got an example for you guys. So I actually worked for Microsoft. I'd done a contract for them for a year, and when I was there, This is around 2014, 2015, and they had bought, to catch up, they'd bought Nokia. So they're like, right.
So like 14 years later, 13 years later, they're trying to catch up.
Right. They're now trying to catch up, right? And they had bought Nokia, and I was there at the time, and we're rolling out Nokia phones with the app, with the Windows operating system.
I remember that week. Sorry, go on.
You're right. I mean, the planet now has billions of devices with operating systems on. They missed that boat.
Yeah.
People no longer have these huge PCs, personal computers in their living room and bedrooms. They have laptops or a phone.
Yeah.
Or a smart tablet, right?
That's right.
So they're now trying to catch up. And we spoke about this, right? So guys, this was one of Microsoft's answer to, I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, just straight
right.
To that
this is,
over there.
I don't know, can you guys see that?
Yeah, they can see it.
This is one of them. This is not Nokia, but this is a AT&T phone. And because I'm a geek, I keep all this stuff in my top drawer at home.
Yeah,
and look, it had little.
Okay.
It had the. Can you see Hugo? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the little keyboard.
That looks nice though.
It's not a bad little. This is a really cool.
If that came out at the beginning, that could have taken off.
I didn't charge it up. I should have charged it up.
Yeah, but we can get an idea from the box anyway.
Yeah, I keep all my old tech because I'm a bit sad.
It's okay.
But anyway, but yeah. So this is just an example, right? But they had missed the boat. They were too late. And you were talking about subjective truth. In his truth, a lot of people say these days, "Oh, I'm living my truth." And sometimes you got to be careful of living your truth. Sometimes your truth is not lining up with the real world.
It's unfounded. Yeah.
If you're 20 stone and your truth is you're fit and healthy, and no disrespect to anyone who's overweight, but I'm saying sometimes your truth is not good for you. You need an outside person say, let's get back to reality, right? Yeah. His truth was the keyboard. This phone is not popular. I'm just saying, it's a cute little device, but it didn't go anywhere. My iPhone, by the way, my iPhone 11 and my iPhone 6
even if you've got like an iPhone 6 or iPhone 5, you're still like, wow, I'm good.
This is my iPhone 6 Plus. It's still going.
Wow.
It's still going. I mean, one day...
Like, even Hugo's up there, look.
Right. It's still going. I've got an iPhone 11, but I've got an iPhone 6. I've got an iPhone 4 at home.
Yeah, I've got an iPhone 5 at home.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. It's still...
I know everybody knows I'm a fan of Android, and I usually like throw stones at Apple concerning their phones because they were... Anyway, but ignore that right now. Ignore what I just said. Erase it from existence. Continue.
Do you know actually that the Apple have actually got a problem at the moment? Their devices are working so well that people are not replacing them fast enough because like me, like you, they're holding on to their iPhone 6s and their iPhone 5s and 4s. They're like Mercedes and BMWs and they just
stuff. Yeah.
They're like German engineering. They just keep going.
So in terms of a person's truth,
right?
How does that affect our financial IQ?
So it affects people in a way that their truth is based on an opinion, an emotion, and not factual data points, not factual information. You've just mentioned Morrison's to me. You mentioned a whole bunch of stuff this morning. This is all stuff that you've researched. You've done your legwork. Okay. You've gone away. You've done your homework, and you've come back with good, tangible, actionable information that you can act on and profit from. But if you sort of like sit there and you say to yourself, I think, in my humble opinion,
I feel
my emotions tell me the force. I'm going to use the force. I'm going to reach out to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he told me,
"You can do is you."
Use the force, Luke. The iPhone will never become a thing. It will never happen. Right.
So people can make choices now. People can turn down opportunities now because they're using subjective truth that's not based on reality. And right now, we're in an age where there's so many opportunities. Now with new technologies, AI, but Binance with its artificial intelligence allowed people to do leverage trading without a broker. Right. Where you come from that generation where you had to have to call the guy up. Do his thing. But now, because of the technology we have now, guess what? That guy's out.
You got charged the fee every time you called up. Every time you made a transaction, you got charged. What's happening now with technology is because of AI and automation and everything, there are no humans involved. There's one or two humans. The rest is AI. So there are no fees because you don't pay AI, right? AI just goes away, does its thing for a fraction of the cost of a human being.
That's amazing.
These platforms now, the platforms that I'm giving you, that I talked about before, they can pass that benefit on to you with either tiny fees or no fees whatsoever.
So here's an interesting thing that you're making me think of right now. Last week you gave the example of the four-legged table, right? Representing our income streams, right? Not just have one, because otherwise you're unstable. Anything, you won't be able to function, right? Not two, not three, but try, aim for four, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Just the fact that we don't have a broker anymore because of the time that we're in, because of the technology that we have, that broker guy is out.
Right.
He's no longer making an income through that telephone call anymore.
Right.
So that's an even greater reason for the rest of us, as we have an opportunity now to engage into something, to create another leg in our financial table, right? That shows us that, wait a second, if I don't keep skilling up and have my subjective truth and my ears and mind open, AI could replace me in an area that I'm working in.
Dude, I'm so happy that you just went on to, because I actually added a little thing to our chat this morning. I'm so happy you mentioned that. I don't know if I messaged this to you, but there was an article. Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm sorry. This is not funny. This stuff is
okay.
I'm saying this because I can't be. It feels like I'm living in the future, right?
Yeah.
So I think, where is it? I think it's in South America somewhere. That there's an Amazon store. I think it's in South America somewhere that people are getting made redundant because the robots are taking over most of their jobs. So people's jobs are getting terminated by robots in large factories and unskilled workplaces. So you're literally getting taken out by Arnold Schwarzenegger, by the team.
You're being terminated.
You are being...
Yeah. But for that family who depended on that job role, of that family member, of that breadwinner, for them it's pressure because they have to go and look for something else, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is serious stuff. This is not funny. This is the sort of stuff I'm trying to get people to do is sit down and think about where things are going, where is the salaried job market going, right? Where is the economy going? Don't try not to get caught off the, caught off guard, sort of thing. You're not going to know everything. You're not going to know, but have an awareness. There's nothing worse than being just completely blindsided by something, and you don't have a B plan.
What happened?
Right?
How did I end up here?
Right.
How did I end up here? And you know what? One of the things about me, because I'm all about having a robust life, and that's why I do a lot of things I do, and I'm engaged in a lot of things I'm engaged in. And one of the things about a robust life for me is having a life of no regrets. It's something that can happen very easily in this life, but mainly due to a lack of knowledge, right? Because we always try to do what's best for us, but having no regrets and to have opportunities buzzing around us at a certain time, and we're just not bothered, to skill up, to level up, to educate ourselves. We're gonna just end up with regret, like that. What's his name from Microsoft?
Steve Ballmer.
He probably looks at iPhone. He's like, No one needs you.
He's a crazy dude. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to put the interview up on my platform.
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys can watch it.
Okay.
But it's so interesting to watch it. It's actually quite scary as well, because if you think, I didn't invest in Apple back then because my funds were tied up elsewhere. But I thought, imagine if you'd put £500 into Apple stock in 2000. Dude, this is pre iPad. This is pre Apple Watch.
It's over,
right? And I know I keep banging on about Apple, and I know you're an Android guy, but I'm saying
no. When it comes to Apple, I do not question the quality of the let me get this straight here on the Breakfast Show. Those of you who are faithful, you know, all right. There was a time, right, in the beginning, 2001,
right,
where I even confess and I get emotional about it, where the iPhone was the one, right? There was no competition. You want to smack a high price on that? Go for it, because it's the one. There's nothing like it. But then guess what? Then came along Samsung, all right? And then, you know, and it done this, and then we're actually ahead. And guess what? They still want to ramp up the prices and all the rest of that. Then Steve Jobs passed away and things are getting a bit, you know what I mean? So that's my thing. It's never been about the quality of the Apple iPhone. Forget the brand. I'm talking about the iPhone in particular. The way they ramped up the prices, I just felt was unfair to the fans of Apple.
I got to agree. I mean,
we're not going to.
If we're going to geek out on that, I got to agree. But just say one thing: they are more of they're selling luxury.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
I get it.
They're not selling technology per se. They're selling, but anyway.
Yeah. So what we'll do, we're gonna go. We need to give a break so everyone can digest everything that we've shared so far, and we need to give. You need to give us something actionable when we come back, because we'll only have a couple of minutes left of the show.
No problem.
But we're gonna need something really actionable. So far, what we've discussed, we spoke about. How inflation bites,
right,
and the realization of it actually encroaching on us right now, right, and being ready. And we spoke about the folly of subjective truth.
Correct.
Yeah, because, you know, sometimes we're hearing stuff and we're not taking it seriously, and opportunities are buzzing around us, but we're not making the effort to grab them. All right, so you're going to come back and give us something quite actionable in just a moment. So everyone stay tuned. We have our Breakfast Show talkers before we just switched over, saying good morning. This is Janet from Nottingham. Good morning, Jeanette. Good morning, Carmen and Adam K. And Mijuli says, you speak in my language, Maurice. Apple all the way.
Mijuli, see, Julie gets it.
Yeah. All right, let's go for a timeout. We'll be right back after this. And we're just coming back in the pursuit of success, and we've been sharing quite a few things today, which I believe has added value to you. And something that Hugo said as the song was playing just now, that the gentleman who made that comment about Apple in the beginning,
Steve Ballmer,
people have listened to him, and until today their eyes are like this, closed.
Still closed.
They're still like locked onto that interview that he had. So everyone, make sure you check out My Financial. Is it
My Money IQ?
My Money IQ.
Have you got the link?
When you put, we're doing the link here, and then definitely check out your platform. Check out his platform to see that interview, because people until tonight, like everyone's enjoying iPhone, but people who've listened to that guy, their subjective truth is like got them like this. You know, so it's interesting. But now we'll come to the end. What have we got, just so we can wrap it up for all our listeners today?
Okay, so to wrap up, guys, so we're going to look at managing risk.
Okay.
And what do I mean by that? Diversification. Okay, so when investing in stock...
sorry, Andrew, I can't hear my backing track. Would the backing track go?
Can you hear it?
Is it going?
Can you hear it?
Oh, yeah, that's how we roll.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, so... we're looking at managing risk and diversification. And what does that mean? So that means if you are invested in the stock market, there are different sectors you can invest in, right?
Okay.
Again, this is all going up on my platform,
Different sectors.
Different sectors. What does that mean? That means you can invest in the banking sector. You can invest in, say, I don't know, HSBC or this bank here or that bank or this financial company. Or you can invest in energy stocks, right? I don't know, see someone like Npower or someone like that. I don't know if Npower's floated, but you get the drift.
Or you can invest in technology.
Or you can invest in tech stocks. You can invest in the Netflixes and the Googles and the Zooms and that sort of stuff. And then you can go and invest in, there is something called real estate, the real estate sector in stocks, right? So you can actually take part in the real estate world without a mortgage. Look at that. Wow. Amazing, right? Yeah, you can. There's something called REIT, I think, real estate investment something. Yeah, so you can do that, right? Why is that important? It's important because if you've got, say you've invested in 4 different sectors and say a government regulation comes out and it affects the tech stocks and all the tech stocks fall, right? And you're only invested in the tech sector, your portfolio is going to take a massive hit, right? But if you've diversified and started managing your risk, right? This is what hedge funds do. They hedge against risk, right? So they hedge against something going bad, something going left. So you invest some in tech, you invest some in energy stocks, you invest some in real estate stock, you invest some in banking stocks, you invest some in, I don't know, the what do you call it, space technology,
metals, and stones and metals. And
metals, that's a slightly different. You can, I see your analogy, but the metal sector is that's commodities. There's different ways of investing in that. When you invest in metals, you can invest in a stock, a mining company. So you can invest in mining companies that go in and mine rare earth metals, precious metals, and so forth. But to do with metals and commodities, you actually own the actual metal. Yeah. That sounds good. So we will move on to that in the subsequent weeks.
I like tangible things as well.
Yeah. So you didn't have gold tooth and gold chains?
I actually have a gold tooth in my mouth right now.
Really?
Yeah. It's like Maurice is looking at me funny now. He's like, oh really? I need that stock. I want that stock in your mouth. Okay. So you're saying, so diversification. So when we're looking at investing in stock, we invest in a company because we believe in that company, and as it grows and develops and it increases in value, we get a return on that investment. That's how it's working. And you're saying there are different diversified.
Be diversified. And one of I'll give you guys some homework. So you guys go on to Yahoo Finance that I mentioned before, and they do put up little articles as well there. It's quite a cool little platform, and it's quite easy to understand as well. I say, guys, feel free to message me on my Instagram, My Money IQ. You're going to put up the link so that people can get it. So you can go onto Yahoo and start looking at stock, but also look at different sectors. So my homework for you guys would be to start looking at different stocks. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just have a look. You don't have to put any money in yet, but start looking at different stocks in different sectors and come back to me. Let me know what you've discovered. Let me know what you think. Let me know whether you think is good or bad or a bit of both, or
Sounds good. And just to reiterate, disclaimer that
I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a trader. So please don't, I'm not FCA regulated or anything like that. So I just want to put that out there. What I do is I have a media platform that aggregates data and gives people great ideas to be creative with their finances, to be creative with their financial future. That's it.
Fantastic. So we really appreciate that, guys. Maurice, and we've got you on. We've put your link up now into the live chat.
Wonderful.
For everybody who wants to communicate. If you have any more questions as well, we'll also have everything like the replay of the show on Robust Life TV, and you'll have links to Maurice there as well. Even after the program, if this goes down or anything like that, you'll be able to get the details to connect with Maurice, and I'm sure he'll be very happy to hear from you.
Absolutely.
So the homework for today, just to repeat the homework.
So the homework for today is, guys, have a think about diversifying your stock. Go on to Yahoo Finance, have a look around at some of the articles that they're posting on potential stock that looks interesting. Have a look and get into the habit of not just jumping on popular stocks like Apple and Tesla and what you hear in the newspapers, but diversify. Have some boring stock that no one's ever heard of.
Okay.
Right? And ensure that you're diversified.
So today we're telling him to go and do some homework.
Go away and do some homework on Yahoo Finance. Do a little bit of research. Come back to me. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. And yeah, you know, it empowers you. You guys have hidden talents that you don't even know you have. You know, that woman that was trying to get her son out of, pay off her debt and, you know, so they would take her son. Right. So, you know, she discovered that she was a businesswoman. My goodness. Not only did she keep her son and pay off her debts, she actually discovered she was a businesswoman and she became an oil tycoon, let's say, right? A mini oil tycoon. Look at that. She became an oil merchant without even knowing she had those inner skills. Yeah. You never know what skills you have, so go for it.
All right. We have our breakfast show talker. Miss Jeanette says, the Apple make you feel like you need a new phone. Apple make you feel like you need a new phone. Although I love Apple, I don't love that aspect. And I currently stopped at Christmas, not on that hype. Yeah, so yeah, it's a luxury item, you know what I mean? And but that's another conversation off air. All right. But you know, on that note, thank you so much for that, Maurice, today.
You're so
welcome. I believe everybody, you know, has a sensation that we're very well fed with information and we know what we can engage into to get more understanding, right? Because we are talking about financial growth and financial development, and you know, knowledge is power. Right,
skills pay bills. Like, we live in an information age. It's never happened before. What we have access to has never happened in the whole of human history.
That's true.
And we have to leverage that. We cannot have large institutions zapping up all of our information and leveraging it against us, and we're just sitting there watching TV and just like, yeah, okay, you know,
I'm Batman.
Yeah, I'm Batman. I'm Bruce Wayne. You know, no, you leverage the information that's out there, right, and use it to help yourself. Skills pay bills. Get the skills.
All right, there we go. And on that note, guys, thank you so much for joining us today on The Breakfast Show. I hope this material and information has been helpful to you. If you are watching live right now, like I said, you can check out our YouTube channel for the replay of the show, which is YouTube.com/C/robustlife TV, and we have all the replays from program 1 all the way to 2, 3 of what we've been sharing to increase our financial IQ, as well as the whole host of other programs. You'll have links also to Maurice's page as well, which, trust me, man, once you go in there, you're going to really enjoy the information, and he'll be there for you to directly DM and make contact with him for you to show you what to do if you've got any questions. And as well as that, if you are on YouTube, like and subscribe the page, and if you look in the description bar, you've got links to Maurice and all the other stuff that we've got going on. And if you are on YouTube, make sure you check us out live on the show on libertyradio.co.uk from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. every morning. Download the app or just join the website, and we just got a whole heap of good stuff happening. Wonderful. Guys, this is it. We're all done. Captain Hugo's giving me the signal. He's like, start. All right. But look, thank you so much, Maurice. You've been great.
You're so welcome. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Captain Hugo. You're awesome. And you, dear listener, thank you for joining us today. Connect online Monday to Friday with special guests for inspiration, motivation to start your morning right. Music, banter, fun and laughter. Connect when you start your mornings with The Breakfast Show. Only on libertyradio.co.uk. That's right, The Breakfast Show is back. libertyradio.co.uk from 6:30 a.m.